Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and today we're talking about the transfer window. Yes, it is silly season. There's crazy rumours every day, most of which never actually result in anything happening. This summer we've got talk of Harry Kane and Jack Grealish going to Manchester City, while it finally looks like Jadon Sancho is going to complete a move to Old Trafford. But what did Football Manager 2021 predict for this transfer window? Well, thanks to someone cleverer than me, I've got a database that allows me to start in the summer of 2021. Not only that, but it's got the correct results from the season prior. We've got Man City as Premier League champions and Brentford, Norwich and Watford heading up to the top flight. But how will all 20 Premier League teams get on in the transfer window? Let's dive into the simulation and see what FM21 predicts. But if you haven't already, I hope you don't mind doing a little favour for us. Would you be an absolute legend and hit that subscribe button? Maybe give us a like, drop a nice little comment down below. You've got to do it either way, because it was my birthday on Tuesday, so we'll just call it a belated gift, unless you send it in the post. Anyway, that's out of the way, let's crack on with today's video. Right, here we are in the summer of 2021. The transfer window has slammed shut like a prison door. Here we've got the Premier League table from the 2020-2021 season, just to prove that, we have got it right. There's Man City, top with 86 points, going down Fulham, West Brom and Sheffield United. And from the Championship, as you can see, Norwich and Watford going up automatically, and Brentford, the Bees, winning the playoffs. I don't know why I call them Brentford the Bees, as if it was like an American football team. They are the Bees, but anyway, we don't call them Brentford the Bees. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run through every Premier League team and have a look at who's came in and who has gone out. We'll go through alphabetical order, but already on the 1st of September 2021, the Premier League season has started and the pace setters are Tottenham. Well, kind of. There are 5 teams already got 10 points on the board after 4 games. Sitting bottom of the league though is Brighton, who are closely followed by Chelsea. A rotten start to the European Champions new season, but it's Tottenham leading the way. But how have they all done in the transfer market? Let's start things off, and as always with alphabetical order, we will be starting with Arsenal. In reality, Arsenal, they've been quite busy. There's a lot of talk of Ben White moving for 50 million quid from Brighton. They've signed Tavares, a Portuguese youngster. A lot of incomings, a lot of outgoings being talked about at the minute at the Emirates. But on Football Manager 2021, there was a fair bit of action, but not big names like Ben White for 50 million quid. They've signed 4 players, and the most expensive arrival has been Ruben Loftus-Cheek from Chelsea. A fee potentially going up to £12.5 million. He's the Arsenal number 15. He's gotten off to a rotten start, 4 appearances, no goals, no assists, on the back of relegation with Fulham. But he is the most expensive signing, 3 years after he was the number 1 twink at the 2018 World Cup. Come the Euros, he's been replaced by Jack Grealish, but at least he's finally at another club where he's probably going to get a decent amount of football. I mean, it's not going to happen at Chelsea for him. Arsenal, they've also added Matthias Oliveira from Getafe, £10 million, fair wedge of cash, a backup goalkeeper in Sergio Romero from Man United, and another backup goalkeeper in Ben Anik, a man who none of you probably know who he is. All I know, he was in a Sunderland porno back in the day. That's basically it. He used to play for Sunderland and he got sacked. He was in a porno. That's basically it. So that's what Arsenal have signed. They got rid of Callum Chambers, which is fair enough. Said Kolasinac gone, Cedric gone to Bordeaux on loan, and Daniel Ballard gone to Sunderland, whoever he is. But there's been no Granit Xhaka departure, there's been no Lacazette going anywhere, but also no Martin Odegaard return, so that's a bit disappointing. But we will move on now to Aston Villa. Aston Villa, the big talk at the minute is Jack Grealish going to be leaving the club? They've already signed Buendia. In reality, on this simulation, that didn't happen, and the only player they signed was Reiss Nelson, on loan from Arsenal. Quite a good little signing actually. Reiss Nelson is a good player, but he needs experience in English football, and sadly he's probably not going to get that at Arsenal. Outgoings, fortunately, Jack Grealish has gone nowhere. Not even £100 million could prize him away from Villa Park. They got rid of Samatta, got to Fenerbahce, Jacob Ramsey gone out on loan, and they've even got rid of Ahmed El Mohamdi. I think he's been released. He is a free agent. One of my friends has got his old boots. I just hope he doesn't sign for Newcastle. Apparently he's not signing for Newcastle. God, I hope he doesn't sign for Newcastle. Oh, let's move on. I can't bear talking about Ahmed El Mohamdi anymore. On to Brentford now, and they are finally a Premier League club. After years of flirting with the playoffs, flirting with promotion, threatening to go up, they have finally done it. They beat Swansea in the playoff final back in May. And as a Premier League team on FM, they didn't spend a single penny. The only player they brought in was Mo Besic on loan from Everton. I mean, Mo Besic's career, ever since he's joined Everton, it's gone down the pan a bit. I remember on his debut, he tried to do some fancy flick and then he just got absolutely ruined by Diego Costa. Since then, it's never really worked for him in an Everton shirt. He's had a couple of loan spells at Borough, he went to Sheffield United in that season, they were great. He wasn't there last season when they went down, so maybe he was the missing link. This season, he's playing for a red and white team once again, and his debut was pretty appalling, an average rating of 6.1. Mo Besic, hang your head in shame, son, but I suppose things can only get better. In reality, if Brentford only signed Mo Besic this summer, then it's been an awful window, especially considering I think they've already made a signing. Next we've got Brighton, and they haven't even got a Mo Besic style signing to celebrate. Not a single player has arrived at the Amex during the summer transfer window. There's been a fair few outgoings. Jurgen Lecardi has been sacked off, Matt Clark. I didn't know what to say, I was about to say axe, but that sounded a bit sinister. I mean, he hasn't had his head chopped off, he's just been sold, he went to PSV. Matt Clark's gone out on loan again like he has in reality. Izquierdo loaned out, Percy Tau loaned out, Jahanbakhsh loaned out, and Solly March sold permanently to Celtic. That's a bit of an interesting departure. I mean, I can't really see that one happening in reality. He's quite a good little player, Solly March. I quite like him. But Brighton, they haven't signed anyone, which is a little bit worrying considering this is a team that couldn't score for love nor money last season. They had Neil Maupay, Danny Welbeck, Aaron Connolly up front, and between the three of them, it was pretty disappointing. Brighton created so many chances, yet they couldn't put them away. They need someone who's going to put away chances. Yet on FM 2021, they haven't done that. They haven't signed anyone. They haven't signed a striker. They haven't even signed a third choice goalkeeper. They haven't even signed a former porn star goalkeeper like Arsenal. On to Burnley. Burnley have spent a little bit of money, £5.25 million, potentially rising to £6.5 million, to one of the most angry men I've ever seen on a football pitch, Matt Ritchie. Matt Ritchie's just annoyed all of the time. Fairly poor dynamic, morale's fairly poor, that should be angry. I mean, what's his aggression here? Only 15, his aggression should be 20, he's livid all the time. This is a man who, when he scores a goal, kicks a corner flag. One time it hit a fan in the nuts, man, for goodness sake. He had a bust up with Steve Bruce last season, he's calling referees wee dicks. I mean, he seems like the perfect Burnley signing, doesn't he? Next we've got Chelsea. There's talk of them trying to get Erling Haaland, but on Football Manager, they haven't done that. They haven't signed anyone. Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel have stuck with what they've got. They have stuck with the team that won the Champions League in May 2020. Why am I saying 20 so many times? They haven't signed anyone. It's all been about the outgoings at Stamford Bridge. They've got rid of Loftus-Cheek, as we pointed out before, the handsome devil. Victor Moses, surprised he's even still at Chelsea in reality. He's gone to Dynamo Kiev. Then you've had some loans, Zappa Costa, Matt Miazga, Margot Van Hinkel and Kennedy. A plethora of players who will never play for Chelsea again. And they're just wasting the time going out on loan. But more importantly, they haven't made a single signing, not a striker. No Erling Haaland arriving, meaning once again Chelsea are going to have to rely on Timo Werner. Then again, that did deliver the Champions League, so maybe it's not all that bad. Right, Crystal Palace are a team that need to sign some players. In reality, they signed Michael Elise from Reading, but on FM, all they signed was Jonathan Gonzalez from Monterrey for £1.6 million. There's already talk of him leaving the club on loan. There's offers from America, Chivas and Tigres, so it looks like he's going back to Mexico. And in a summer where Crystal Palace needed to sign a fair few players, all they've done is sign some Mexican kid who's about to go out on loan. That's not very good business at all, is it? I mean, Dragons Den would kick you straight out for something like that. Next we've got Everton, and another club where it's been a quiet summer. They've just signed Andros Townsend in reality, but on FM 2021, the only signing they made was on deadline day. It was Francisco Moura from Braga for a fee of £2.4 million. 22-year-old, he can play at left back or he can play at left wing, and he's already been loaned out to Rio Ave. They've basically done exactly what Crystal Palace done, although it's not as bad for Everton because they haven't just released half of their team over the summer. They have made some departures though. Theo Walcott's gone to Lens permanently, and out on loan they've sent Cenk Tosun to Shakhtar Donetsk. On to Leeds now, and it looks like they've been the busiest team probably so far maybe in the whole Premier League. The figures we've got here in terms of everyone else are pretty big. They have brought in £34.5 million. That's because Robin Koch, after just 1 year, he's been sold, he's gone to RB Leipzig, back to Germany, and they've also got rid of Pascal Sturridge, the man who deputised for Koch a lot of the times last season. He's gone to Club Brugge for a potential fee of £16.75 million. That's why Leeds have invested big money in a centre-back, and they have brought in Football Manager's favourite son, Christopher Ayer, a man who in years gone by you would normally see him at Real Madrid or Barcelona or wherever. On FM 2021, he has gone to Leeds United for £14.5 million. Sadly though, FM21 is probably going to be the last time you can sign Christopher Ayer from Celtic, because I mean, at the time of recording, it seems certain that he's going to Brentford for a club record deal. Next, we've got Leicester, the Premier League's perennial bottle jobs, throwing away Champions League football as if it's a Tesco meal deal or a Farm Foods voucher. On FM 2021, the only player they signed was Bernard. Bernard, the Brazilian on loan from Everton. Bernard, we'll call him Bernard's Watch. Did anyone watch Bernard's Watch? I always talk about Bernard's Watch to me lass, and she said it was absolutely terrible. Oh no, it was Brum she hates. Bernard's Watch was good, he could stop time. But anyway, I was trying to make a time-stopping joke there. Can Bernard stop time when he gets the ball? Probably not, that's why Everton have loaned him out. He's on loan at Leicester City, and he is their only signing of the summer. Fortunately for Foxes fans, they've made a few better signings than that. Patson Daka, Ryan Bertrand. It's not all bad for Leicester right now. On to Liverpool. In reality, they've signed Ibrahim Konate. That, for some reason, hasn't happened on FM 2021. They haven't signed a soul. It's been about the outgoings, and they've even got rid of Nathaniel Phillips. He hasn't even got his full name here, he's just Nathan Phillips. He's gone on loan to Hull, deemed surplus to requirements for the Reds, which is a little bit sad. I mean, he was brilliant last season, but he's gone on loan to the Championship. The big departure is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, the biggest transfer we've got so far. He's gone to AC Milan for a fee potentially rising to £33 million. Initial fee of 25.5, it can go up to 33 million. That is a huge transfer, and a huge transfer that definitely won't happen. And I'll tell you for why. He's got a ban on the way. There's no way Perry's going to relocate to Milan when she's got a ban on the way. Little Mixer, I mean, they've already lost one member, they can't lose another. I mean, how are they going to perform if one of them's in Milan and the other two are wherever they are? There's the one from my neck of the woods, just from Shields. She's the one not having a baby, isn't it? We're not here to talk about Little Mix, we're here to talk about the Premier League transfers, and we're moving on to Manchester City, where unfortunately it's quite disappointing. So disappointing, we might as well continue talking about Little Mix. If I had anything more to say, the only sign they've made is Cleve Arthur Gia from Alianza. 1.5 million. Christ, I thought that said he was on 200 grand a week. He's on 20 grand a week, which is still a lot considering he's only 18. Never played for Peru. And a right back. Maybe he's one for the future. Surprisingly though, there's been no bigger rivals at Man City. No real departures either. It's as if Man City's just been closed for business all summer. Like most shops were last summer. Next we've got Manchester United, and Football Manager 2021 did not predict the signing of Jadon Sancho. Sure, apparently he's done a medical, everything's been agreed, it just needs to be signed, sealed and delivered. We just need to see him holding a scarf, wearing a shirt, maybe he's playing a piano thing like Alexis Sanchez. But according to FM, that transfer isn't going to happen. Man United didn't make any major signings at all. They brought in 3 players, the biggest being Thomas Belmont from Lanús for £6.5 million. But none of these are big names that are going to take Man United the title. But the big news is that Phil Jones, a man who, he deserves a testimonial. He's been at Old Trafford for 10 years. He has finally left Manchester United and gone to Marseille. He's playing in France, and based on this, he's playing quite badly. Next up it's Newcastle, and just like in reality, their transfers have been quite bad. They've only signed 2 players, which is more than in reality, but are they up to much? I mean, Marcus Salah from Sassuolo, Augustin Özil from Banfield. 2 names which are not massively exciting. Salah, a left back, they're both on the loan list already. I mean, what was the point? And all they've done is sold first team players. They've got rid of the captain Jamal Lascelles, he's gone to Hertha. Matt Ritchie's gone to Burnley. The only good thing is they've got rid of Jeff Hendrick. Christ, it hurts my eyes trying to watch him play football. I'd rather watch paint dry. It'd have a better chance of passing forwards. Next we've got newly promoted Norwich, and their one signing according to FM 2021 is Ben Gibson. They've made his loan deal permanent. He is signed for Norwich for £8 million. But let's be honest, Norwich have been making some great signs this summer. They've signed a lad from Nice who seems decent, Leeds Melu I think he's called. They've even got Milo Rashica from Werder Bremen, a man who's been linked with £30 million moves to the Premier League in recent years. But he's signed for Norwich, I think less than 10 million. Sure, they've lost Buendia, but Rashica, or Rashica, I'm not sure, I'll wait till the commentators tell us how it's meant to be pronounced. Signing him, he could be a one to put in your fantasy teams. He looks like a great signing. But on FM, all they've got is Ben Gibson, which isn't bad. It's good for Burnley, he never played. It's Southampton up next, and literally there's nothing to talk about here. They haven't signed anyone. The only exciting thing they've done is loaned out Musa Djenepo to Charlton. I mean, what am I meant to do with that? He's not even playing very well in the Championship. Southampton, why do you have to let me down? Let's just move on straight away. And we are moving on to Tottenham Hotspur, where things are not as disappointing, but still pretty disappointing. They're only signing Fausto Vera, a youngster who is out on loan. What is it with Premier League teams on this FM simulation just signing North or South American youngsters and just banging them on the loan list straight away? The outgoings are a little bit interesting. Danny Rose loaned out even though he's been released in reality. He's signed for Watford, hasn't he? But the big departure is Harry Winks to Hertha Berlin. Hertha Berlin have been spending some big money on Premier League players. Harry Winks is one of them, and he's already scored his first goal for Hertha. So well done, Harry. This is quite disappointing for Tottenham, but I suppose at least they haven't sold Harry Kane. They've got rid of one Harry. You'd sell Harry Houdini before you sold Harry Kane. Have Tottenham got Harry Houdini? I don't think he's in their squad. Let's move on. Watford, we've just spoke about one of their signings, Danny Rose, but on FM, they've done nothing. This is quite disappointing. Isaac Success, not a massive success, joining Lokomotiv Moscow for £5.25 million. They've got Sierralta, he's gone to Nice for just shy of £8 million, and a few other names loaned out. But a quiet summer for Elton John's favourite team, and Chris Stark. Don't forget Chris Stark, he is a very funny man. On to West Ham, the penultimate team of this video. They were the surprise package in the Premier League last season, and if the only player they signed this summer is Oliver Burke on loan, then the West Ham fans have got an absolute right to protest, because Oliver Burke, I wouldn't be surprised if he put his shoes on the wrong way and couldn't tie his laces. Yet for some reason he's joined West Ham on loan for the full season, and he is the only signing they make. They haven't even brought Jesse Lingard back and his little parrot or cockatoo, whatever it was called, that he had during the Euros. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's going to make no sense. And as always, well, until someone lower down in the alphabet joins the Premier League, we end things with Wolves and their transfers. It's actually been quite a busy summer at Molineux. Rui Patricio's gone. In reality, he's gone to Roma, he's gone to Krasnodar on this. In reality, they've replaced him with Jose Sarr from Olympiacos. Here, I think they've made a better signing in Dominik Livakovic, the Croatian number one. He's signed from Dinamo Zagreb, and already he's looking pretty damn good. An average rating after 3 games of 7.43. A good sign there. They've also got Marcao, a centre-back from Galatasaray. And going out, the most interesting one there, Roman Saiz, he's gone to Marseille along with Phil Jones. Adama Traore and his greased up arms have been allowed to leave the club to join Espanyol on loan. What a crazy bit of business. Not long ago, this guy was being linked with £50 million moves to the likes of Liverpool or Man United or wherever. Now he's been loaned out to Spain. I was right about Adama Traore all along. I still don't know how he went to the Euros. Thank God they didn't win. I'd have been banging my head against the wall. I mean, I know we didn't win. Oh, I've just got over it now. I've just reminded myself of it. We got beat on penalties, man. We will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.